Chazaku Baruch, Boker Tov everyone. We are in Siman Lamed Aleph, going back a few Simanim that I didn't do. So we know on Pesach we dip the karpas in the salt water. We wash our hands beforehand without a bracha. So we do this so that the kids could ask what's going on. But really, there's a year-long halacha when a person dips into liquids, then he should wash his hands beforehand. So do we do this halacha? Do we not? What's the story with this halacha? So the origin is called davar shetibulo b'mashkeh, something that you dip in a liquid, and that's something that's fresh. So either a fresh vegetable or a fresh fruit. If you dip in one of the following 7 liquids, and the way to remember these liquids is the acronym Yad, Shachat, Dam. Yad is yain, Dam. How could you eat blood? That's fish blood or chagavim blood. Technically, you could eat. So say yain, dam, wine, blood. And the shachat is shemen zait. So it's oil. Chet is chalav. Tet is tal is dew, and dam is devash and mayim. So if a person, so the halacha is as follows. Back in the day, if let's say a person was tameh and they touch a fruit. So this fruit can only become tameh. So number one, it has to be detached from the tree. Number two, that water or one of these liquids went onto that fruit after it was detached, and now a person's tameh, then it makes it tameh. Now, we know that a person goes to the mikveh, becomes tahor. Certain things, as we do netilat yadayim in the morning, we do netilat yadayim before we eat bread. So if a person does netilat yadayim before touching that fruit, then it's going to be okay. Now that is so. Now the thing is, when I take that fruit and I dip it in one of these drinks, at that moment, if I'm tameh, it can make this tameh. Now nowadays we're all tameh. We don't have the Bet HaMikdash. We don't do the halachot of tumah b'tahara, nida, and there's the kohanim that can't outright become tameh. The question is, do we still have to do this before a person dips into liquids? Do we have to do this nowadays or not, as a remembrance to what was done back then? So the Shulchan Aruch writes that yes, the person has to do this, but you wash your hands without a bracha. And Rabbi Ovadia Yosef upholds what the Shulchan Aruch says, and therefore all year round, if you dip a fruit or vegetable in one of these liquids, then if you want to just have a snack during the year of apple and honey is one of the things, you would have to wash your hands and tell you that beforehand. Now we don't do this on Rosh Hashanah. So what's going on over here? Rabbi Ovadia Yosef says you have to do it, as does the Shulchan Aruch, and that's the final ruling, even on Rosh Hashanah when we need to do this. Rabbi Shalom Asas, and he brings down a many poskim that say that nowadays we're lenient on this because we don't keep tumah v'tahara. I mean, there's no tumah v'tahara, and this remembrance is we're lenient on it, and the person could lechatchila be lenient on it, ideally be lenient on it, and not. And he says yes, if a person wants to be strict, then tavola bracha, he should get bracha. But a person could ideally be lenient on it because nowadays we don't have the tumah v'tahara, and throughout many generations there's been a leniency on this, and it's okay to continue to be lenient on it. Now there's a difference between the night of Pesach, because the night of Pesach we're emulating. We don't have Korban Pesach, but we're emulating the time of Yisrael Hashem to come out of Mitzrayim and to have Tumah V'Tahara. So we're doing things on the holiest level of Tumah V'Tahara. And therefore, we wash our hands before dipping the karpas. But all year long, says Rabbi Shalom Asas, again, with the Chidah, the Ben Ish Chai, there's many poskim that he brings along as well, that lechatchil, you don't need to do this. If you want to be machmir, then tavo alecha bracha. But Rabbi Ovadia Yosef does say that one still should do this nowadays, as does the Shulchan Aruch, that even nowadays one should still do this, that you dip without, and you before you dip, then a fresh fruit or vegetable in one of these liquids, you wash your hands beforehand, and Rabbi Shalom Asas says one does not need to. Okay, that's that for today. Minchat tonight at 6:45. Have a good day, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.